evening to you, Disgracelanders. I hope you are all well. My name's Rob Wheatley. Thanks for tuning in to Roboland's Vids here at Disgraceland, or a very small corner of it. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing well. It's just before 10 PM here, which is night time, as you can see. Out the square window, it's dark. There, you see, because it's winter and it's dark all the time. Winter, and so, you know, heating's on, t-shirt. I can't, you know, what am I doing? I shouldn't have the heating on. I should be wearing multiple shirts and jumpers and hoodies and things like that. But I'm not, because because I just got paid. So stick it. I'm having the heating on, you know. So, things have been going good here. Really, really good. If you've been keeping up with what's going on here, I started a job a few weeks ago, which was working in a kitchen, washing up, a pot wash, and actually I'm really enjoying it. I think it's great fun. Real cracking bunch of people I'm working with, and it's, you know, just 2 half days a week, which fits in with all the other government money that I get, and for being mental and you know, a bit wobbly and all that sort of stuff. And here's the thing, you see. Here's the thing. We often talk about, oh, government departments, they don't talk to each other. Oh, no one ever talks to each other anymore. You sit there and you've got a problem and you phone up one government department and you're on hold for like an hour, listening to the bloody Four Seasons. Anyone that has to phone up the DWP over here, who are the Department of Wankers and Pillocks, whatever, work and pensions or something like that. Sorry, a very nice lady I spoke to on the phone actually today. She had a very, very calming accent. She said, oh, we don't do stress in Yorkshire. And I said, actually, your accent's calming me down. So I'm from Essex. I said, even when I'm being nice to people, it sounds like I'm threatening them or so, I'm having a go at them. So it was all very good. But what happened was, you see, when I started the job the other week, I had to fill in this form, you know, with a pen. Oh God, and we you don't hold pens very often, you know. Because we're all too busy doing this, you see, and poking things without finger on the screen on things like that. So we can't hold a pen, and it's just hang on, it's just like that or something, or is it like that? And it just doesn't seem to work. And especially if you've got fingernails like what I have on there, it makes it even more difficult. And plus, I had to fill out this form, you see, when I started this job, and it was like name and address and national insurance number and bank details and all this sort of stuff. And I'm usually very careful when I write my address, because my door number is 11A. So sometimes if I write 11 and then a little a lowercase a, it looks like a 0. People might think it's 110. So if I write 11A with a capital A, uppercase A, well, that's what I did, you see. And I never thought any more about it, and then about a week later I got a letter from the place that I'm working, and just to confirm a few bits and pieces, and I said, oh, hang on, you've got the address wrong, you put 114 instead of 11A. And so they said, oh, we'll correct that. So that's all right, nothing will, you know, won't affect anything. And in the back of my head I'm thinking, there's a disaster waiting to happen here. And true enough, this morning I was reading a Twitter message from one of my friends, Michelle, and it was like, you know, this morning I had a lovely breakfast, and I described what she had for breakfast: fruit and yogurt and all this. Very nice. For breakfast I had a freaking panic attack, because woke up and I went to check my bank, because I should have been paid by the government today. Nothing. There's nothing in there. There's not even enough to buy 3 pints of beer in that bank account. There should have been enough to buy 70 or 60 pints of beer, you know, because that's how you measure things. You measure, over here in England, you see, you measure spaces either by football pitches, or if it's bigger than the football pitches, it's in fractions of the size of Wales, not the animals, the country Wales, you see. So that's how we do distances. But in terms of money, you know, it's how many pints of beer can you get out of it. That's really what it is. Or you know, if it's a very small amount of money, it's guitar picks. But you see, you get the picture. So there was virtually no money in the account, and I was just about to send a whole load of money to my brother, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Really excited about that. Especially if you see the last video where I went on about King Crimson. So exciting things happening. So anyway, no money in the bloody account. So, oh, cock, like, you know, I was halfway through making breakfast. I had some scrambled eggs going, and I had a cup of tea going, and went on the thing, and everything just went, and my brain just meltdown, panic attack. Get on the phone up, go on the internet here, say, what's the number for the government department? And they've changed the number, and now that number belongs to some bloody insurance company. And they're going, well, you know, if you've had an accident at work, it's not your fault. Well, it's an accident, isn't it? So I hung up, found the number, phoned them back, listened to the Four Seasons for about 20 minutes before I got to speak to someone, and they were going through it. I said, I haven't been paid, you know. And apparently what had happened, because work had then sent my tax forms off to the tax office, that government department had actually talked to the DWP, you see? And they hadn't said, oh, this bloke started working, stop his money, because I'm allowed to work, as I said, because it's permitted work and all this business. But the DWP said, well, your address has changed, so we can't pay you. I said, well, my address hasn't. Look, yeah. No, it's not. No, I'm still here. I'm still here. I've been here for like 18 years, so I haven't moved. Oh, we don't know what's going on. And that's what happened, you see. So someone had said, oh, look, it's 114, not 100, not 11A. And consequently, they didn't pay me because of it. Oh, God. Luckily, very nice lady on the end of the phone, and she sorted it out for me, and my money arrived, and all very well and good, and I could send some money to my brother. So, next time you're moaning about, oh, government departments, no one ever talks to each other, and you've got to phone one person, and you go for all the same information, and they're like, oh, we've never heard anything. Don't moan, because it could end up in disaster, and you could end up with enough money for not even 3 pints of beer when you should have enough money for 60. Talking of beer, let's open one, because I've talked enough already, and we'll just get on with this. It's just Adnams Exploiter. It's the same, you know, as quite often, because I could only be bothered to walk to the post office after all that. I was mentally shattered and drained and had enough, and that was only like by midday today. So the reason I'm drinking this one is I've got 3 bottles of beer left in the fridge, and this is the strongest. And obviously that's another rule of beer drinking. You start with the strongest, whatever you've got in the house, and then work down to the weakest ones, and by the time you get to those, you won't really notice what's going on, will you? So it's all good stuff. So, awesome. Let's pour it into a glass. Oh, it's 5%, by the way. 5%. So we're going to pour this out. Yes, why did I have to send money to my brother? What's the King Crimson related thing? Well, after going on about King Crimson in the last video, I think I was saying they're my favourite band and all this sort of stuff, they suddenly announced they're doing 3 dates next year. In June at the Royal Albert Hall in London, of all places, which means it's going to be an expensive gig, but it's their 50th anniversary tour. And having seen them last time I saw them was in 2015, and they were stunning. The current lineup they've got is just brilliant. I think I said in the last one, I've seen them a whole bunch of times since the 1980s, all various different forms, different lineups and things like that, but currently they've got like 3 drummers across the front of the stage, and then the back line across on a riser at the back of the stage they've got Mel Collins on saxophone, who you might know from bands like Camel, and he's played with loads of other people, but he did a lot of work with Camel. And they've got Jakovitz on guitar, and Robert Fripp on guitar, and Tony Levin on Chapman stick and bass guitar, and it's all. And also they've got another. And also they've got one of the drummers, I think it's Bill Riflin, isn't playing drums, but he's playing keyboards. So effectively they've got 4 drummers. Anyway, this was advertised the other day, and so they're doing their 50th anniversary tour dates, and I knew it wasn't going to be cheap. I knew it was going to be quite expensive, because the Albert Hall, 3 nights there, and I'm thinking it might be about 50 quid, you know, £50 for a ticket, which is more than I've ever paid for a concert ticket in my entire life. But it's King Crimson, it's their 50th anniversary tour, and what with Robert Fripp, their guitar player, turning 70 I think this year, who knows, he might just decide to retire, and this might be the last chance I get to see them. And also, you know, I just got my first pay packet from the job a week or 2 ago, and it's the first pay packet I've had from a job in years and years, because of my pre-explained mental capacity, or lack of mental capacity. So I thought, to hell with this, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to get myself an octave fuzz pedal, which I haven't got yet, and I'm going to get myself a bloody Crimson ticket. So the tickets, I was talking to Simon Bradbury last night about this. Alright, Simon, and we were laughing about some of the old gigs we went to and how much they used to cost. I think the first gig I went to in London, the Hammersmith Odeon, when I was about 15, so that would have been 1980, that was £3.50. £3.50. And Simon was talking about when he went to see The Wall with Roger Waters recently. Not with Roger Waters, Roger Waters was on stage, Simon didn't go with him, but I I said to Simon, well, I remember when the Wall, Pink Floyd originally toured with the Wall when the album came out, so what's it, 81 or 82 or 83 or something like that, and that was £10 a ticket. £10. I thought, I'm not paying that. And so I didn't go to see the Wall live at Earls Court on the original tour. Although I do have a triple live vinyl recording of that tour, which is naughty because you shouldn't have that sort of thing, but I've got it anyway. I don't know where it came from, but I've got it. If only I had a turntable, that would be awesome. But anyway, Crimson tickets, what they turn out to be 75 quid a throw in the end, and to be honest, and a small booking fee, 4 quid booking fee, so 79 quid, and we got our tickets. Tickets confirmed today, row 11, awesome, somewhere in the middle, right in front of the stage, not too far back. It's gonna be freaking awesome, and I'm really, really, really excited. That's why my hair's falling out, you know, so all the excitement. So that's the Crimson news. If you're, you know, slightly a fan of Crimson, you've always thought, should I go and see them? Or, oh man, this is just, I think they're the best they've ever been with this lineup. They've just rearranged a lot of their old tunes and things like that, and it's just mind-blowing stuff. So looking forward to that. Yeah, what else have we got here? Look, I came up with a tune on what night was that? That was Wednesday night, just before I went to bed. Again, always happens. And all it is, it's quite a simple thing, but I've done slight weird things to it. Obviously, because this is Rob O'Land's vids, and that's what we do. I even tasted the beer, yeah. I'm excited, I'm too excited. Are you following this? Is this making any sense at all? I don't ask Dave, he's just useless. A little bit bubblegummy, this. Sometimes it tastes a bit grapefruity, and sometimes it's got a bit of a bubblegum thing on it. It's not my favourite Adams beer, but it's 5%. So, you know, it's nice to have a bit of variety. So that's that. Adams Explorer. Get it down, yeah. Yeah, so this little piece of a tune, and I'm arranging it in my head at the moment. I'm going to have a go at recording it, but at the moment what we've got is this. And I just thought I'd share this with you because it's quite, I find it quite interesting of how it can go from very, very simple chords and just start embellishing them a little bit. So there's nothing really flash going off on here. Most of the work's going on up here. The fingers are doing very little. So what we've basically got is we've got an E minor, played like an arpeggio, and then we've got an A minor, and then we've got a G. Sort of, right? So that's basically what we sort of got is. But again, this being Rob O'Land, we don't do things like that. So what we've got is we've got the E minor. When I go to the A minor, what I'm doing is I'm wrapping my thumb over here on the 2nd fret, so I've got an F sharp in the bass, and that gives me this. Instead of this, we get this. Oh, lovely bit of dissonance going off on there. So we got. And then instead of playing the whole G chord, I'm keeping the A minor where it is, getting rid of this finger off the top, and then holding a G in the bass. So again, instead of having a G chord, I've got this. So again, we go from E minor, A minor, G, standard. But doing it the Rob O'Land way, we get this. It's nice putting random bass notes against other chords, you know, playing these slash chords. You don't need a top hat and a stupid hair and wearing sunglasses indoors to play them. You know, this is slash chord is just where you play a chord and you have a different bass note in it. Yeah. So for example, this would be, instead of being an A minor, if I put a G, F sharp in it, it'd be an A minor slash F sharp. Yeah. A minor with an F sharp in the bass. Now, then I'm thinking, well, while I'm playing the E minor, why don't I put an F sharp on the treble string? to, what's the word, preempt the fact that the next A minor chord has an F sharp in the bass. So there's, so we go from that to that. Then we have the A minor with the F sharp in the bass, but I could actually put, with my little finger here, a G in the top. You see where this is going? Yeah, and then when I play the G chord, effectively, I could do with an F sharp in there to mimic the F sharp that we just had in the bass of the previous chord. Except I'm not going to play it on there. I could play it on there. I guess I can. We've already done that. So what I could do is I could leave the E, because to preempt the E, ideally I should leave the E in there to preempt the E that's coming up in the next one. Let's do that then. I could put an F sharp in there. When you start getting some really interesting things coming out from 3 really basic chords, so experiment with this sort of stuff. Really basic chords, and just then I'm thinking, well, okay, if I was playing power chords with those shapes, I could play an E up here. I could use, like, effectively the power chord, you know, the 2-finger power chord with with the root note on the A on the 7th fret, which would give us effectively a sort of E. I could then move that down and move it all across, so I've got the root note on the A to give me a 5th fret of the beat of the E string, and then to get the G, I play the A shape again, root note on the A on the 10th fret to give me a G. But now if I take, instead of playing like that, get rid of the root notes out of it completely. So now I end up with God. I hope that's been interesting. I mean, there's just some ideas of where this can go. I'm going to try and multi-track this and get some ideas going, but that suddenly gives all sorts of different textures. So that's going to take sort of a bit more work, but I'm really enjoying that. It's going somewhere and I'm not quite sure where, so I'm putting some time into that because I think there's a really nice tune in there. But then I'm walking around thinking that I don't know much about Radiohead. I haven't got any of their albums. I usually enjoy what I hear by them, but I don't really know anything about them. Don't really know any of their tunes. I don't know how to play any. I thought suddenly, is that something from Radiohead? And then today I'm walking around thinking, no, is it something by Eivind Aarset, who most of you probably haven't heard of, but he's one of my favourite musicians. He's a guitar player, Norwegian guitar player, and uses a lot of electronics and a lot of effects and things on his guitar. I've seen him live a whole bunch of times with various people, and he's been someone that's really inspired a lot of what I do in the last few years. It took me you know, sometimes you're after a direction to go with your music, and then you suddenly discover a musician and you think, that's what I've been looking for, and it takes you, and I find his music so inspiring, too much fucking perspective. It's because a lot of the time I'll think, right, I need some inspiration today to come up with a tune, and I'll think, I'll go and put some Eivind Aarset on, and like 3 hours later I've listened to like 4 of his albums and watched a load of his videos and I've done nothing. because I'm just enjoying his music too much. But there's one of his tracks, and I just worked out which one it is. It's a track called Feverish from an album called Connected, and it's a brilliant album. I think it's his best album personally. That's my favourite album of his. And if you've never heard of him or heard of any of his music, I will link a video of Connected, of Feverish underneath, and you can, you know, work out whether this is too similar. It's not the same. It's similar, but it's not the same. He's playing slightly different chords in different orders, but it's got that same sort of vibe. But luckily, he's quite obscure, so I should probably get away with that anyway. But I'll link Feverish underneath the video. Excuse me. I suggest you go and check it out if you're into discovering new music. It's not as violent or as scary as the Richard Pinhouse, the Held and stuff that I linked to last time at all. It's a completely different sort of style of music, but I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, go and check out more of his stuff, or go and check out some Nils Petter Mulveya stuff, because he's a trumpet player that often plays with Eivind Aarset and they do some amazing stuff with some really big grooves and a couple of fantastic drummers. Eivind Aarset often plays with a bass player and 2 drummers, and man, I've seen him a bunch of times. He's one of my top musicians, really has been for the last few years. So there's that. Now, what I really wanted to talk about in the video that I never made was this, and I'm running out of time, so I'm going to talk about it anyway, because one of the Twitter accounts that I follow is a Twitter account called Internet of Shit. Now, you've heard of the Internet of Things. Now, this Twitter account basically takes news about the Internet of Things, where things go bloody badly wrong, where someone will buy, you know, for example, a new cooker, you know, an intelligent cooker, and they want to make their dinner, and they suddenly go to make their dinner, and they've got a whole load of people coming around for dinner, and they suddenly can't use it because it's uploading, you know, a new software update, and that takes 5 hours, and you can't use it. Or, you know, you buy a new intelligent garage door that sort of senses when, you know, got cameras on it that senses when your car or your face is driving towards it and opens up, and suddenly you can't get in because it's usually, you know, doing a software upgrade which takes generally 5 hours. So one of the things on there they went on about the other week was these intelligent light bulbs. Now, we used to have timer switches. Remember those things you have on, like, and you basically, if you're going out somewhere, you could turn it on like that, just like you have on a heating control. So your lights could come on or off or whatever it was you did. I mean, in the old days, when people used to talk to each other, like, you know, government departments unfortunately do these days, what you'd do is, if you went away on holiday, is you'd give the key to your next door neighbour, and they would come in the morning, they'd open your curtains up, and so it made it look like, you know, someone was home, and in the evening they'd come and shut the curtains and turn the lights on and water the plants and make sure there was nothing, you know, exploding, leaking. Now we all do it with bloody computers. But these intelligent light bulbs, I thought, okay, well, what's a light bulb got to do? It's got to turn on, it's got to turn off. That's not that freaking intelligent, is it? It's only, like, you know, on or off. It's like, it's a switch. So, you know, that's not that intelligent. And then I thought, okay, what do these things do? And I looked online, I found that Philips do an intelligent light bulb. I'm not going to do that, it's stupid. An intelligent light bulb, and it's not about being able to program it so it comes off and comes on and goes off when you want. You possibly do that. The first thing I noticed, though, was it costs 89 quid. I don't know if you get 2 light bulbs, but you get this computer unit with it and all this stuff, which I just looked on the exchange rate, and that's $113, all right, for possibly 2 light bulbs, maybe 1, maybe 2 light bulbs, $113. So we've already established that the light bulb is vastly more intelligent than the person that's going to pay that sort of money for it. So I guess it's done its job. But what this thing does, you can control it to perfectly set the ambiance in your room perfectly to match any mood and any situation. So it's got friends coming around tonight, and we don't want anyone getting bored and not talking to each other, so I better go and intelligent light bulb. We get just the right shade of whatever colour it is I've chosen, just to create the perfect perfect ambience so the party goes swimmingly. Well, look, if you have to rely on a fucking intelligent light bulb to have a good evening with your friends, then you probably need new friends, or they do, alright? That's probably what it's telling you, and again, you're not too fucking bright, are you? So, but the thing about this intelligent light bulb, okay, has different colours. What's it got? Probably red, green, blue, yellow, purple, pink, you know, white, hopefully. Seven colours, that'd be great. 7 colours, that'd be, I'd still be going, which one do I? I've only got 2 pairs of shoes. I've got a pair of trainers and another pair of trainers. And I go, I wear the blue ones or the black one? The black one or the blue? Blue or the black? Actually, I wear the black ones to work because the soles are only about that high on them, on the blue ones are about that high, and the ceiling at work is about that high. So I've had to buy slightly lower shoes so I can actually get in the room where I'm working without having to do this. But no, these intelligent light bulbs, guess how many colours they've got? Go on, guess. Guess. 19 million. I repeat, 19 million colours. Right? Do I want to wear the green shirt today? Do I want to wear the blue shirt today? No, I just green or blue, green or bloody hell, green or blue. Do I feel like green, bit blue? Do I just want to Chelsea or Chelsea? Or is it because I used to support Chelsea? Or is it like green? Is it like Christmassy green holly? I'm fucking what Rizzler packet? I want blue, green Rizzlers or blue Rizzlers? Green or blue because they're thinner. But here's the thing, all right? 2 things about this. First of all, right, I've researched this as much as I research it. I've just typed into Google how many colours can we see, and they reckon what you have in your eyes, you have these cones, which are the things that sense colour. And most people have got 3 of them, and each cone can sense about 100 colours, shades of colour. So it's 100, 100, 100. It makes it a million, basically. About a million colours most people can see or differentiate. Now, some people have 4 cones, which apparently gives you a total of around about 7 million colours that you can see. So if they're designing them for people with 4 cones, that's 7 million colours that they can see. That still leaves 12 million colours that these light bulbs can do. That you can't tell the difference between. Oh, okay, look, let's do an experiment here. Look, green Rizzlers, all right, green Rizzlers, and the light's not great here. Green Rizzlers. This shirt, green shirt, right, and it's reasonably. But obviously, because I wear, you wear a shirt, you wear it outside, yeah. So over a period of time, it's going to fade a bit, yeah. So I would say that this part of the shirt is probably a bit lighter than that part of the shirt, which doesn't get the sun because it's a collar. So which one would you prefer to create that perfect ambience? This or that? This or that? This or that? Or would you prefer that? Is that better or worse? Better or worse? Better or worse? Better or fucking Jesus Christ, if I had to make that sort of decision before anyone come round, I'd never invite anyone round my home anyway. Actually, I don't ever invite anyone round my home anyway, so I guess that's a good place to, what I actually do is I turn the lights out and pretend I've gone out. So, without further ado, I will see you on the next one. Don't tell anyone I'm not in. Have they gone yet? Still outside?